Hi everybody, Steve Griffiths here, developer of the MTPredictor software program. In this video I'd like to look at some manual analysis on the euro. This is the euro against the US dollar, Forex, to see whether any techniques that we teach in MTPredictor could have helped you catch this sharp fall on the euro that's just unfolded this morning. So I'd just like to go through a few things here and see whether, first of all, we could have anticipated an area where this fall might have unfolded, and also then got an area of where we'll be looking to take profits. This is a 15-minute chart of the euro, and what we normally do is we normally teach that you always set your roadmap or your idea of where the large degree trend, support and resistance zones are on the higher time frame. We normally try to look to 3 to 5 times higher. So if you're trading a 15-minute chart, you then look at the hourly chart or the 60-minute chart. So if I go out to the hourly chart and zoom out a bit, and if I scroll back to before this high actually unfolded this morning, you can see that we had a swing. We had a swing going down from here into this low here. Now what I teach is that when you've got a swing like this, I normally go back to the prior pivot, which would be here. I normally put the decision point on that prior pivot, which would have been there, and that gives me an area of resistance to look at if the market's rallying up. And you can see that this actually unfolded very nicely indeed, with the euro rallying up into this level here before this sharp fall unfolded. I'll also put the decision point on from this last prior pivot here, just because we'll be using that for a bit of trade management. But you see what I'm doing here is that before the market even got there, before the euro even got up to this level here, I was anticipating that this would be a resistance zone because I placed the DP off our last swing pivot here. And as you can see, that did actually catch the high nicely. So how could you have traded this? Well, these set the larger degree support and resistance zones on the higher time frame. So if we now go down to the shorter time frame, which in this particular example is the 15-minute chart, can you see now how this decision point, this hourly decision point, caught this 15-minute high beautifully? So if I go back in advance, this is how your chart would have looked before the market even got up there. You would have been aware that this would have been resistance. So as the market got up into these levels here, you should then be looking for any shorter term patterns. Now, one shorter term pattern that we know from Elliott wave is a 5-wave sequence. We know this is what we call a trend termination sequence, and that looks like what we've got rallying up here. So an easy way to do this is if you right mouse click over the bar, you can do Elliott wave intermediate, and if there's a sequence there, an Elliott wave sequence there, then MTPredictor will find it. And as you can see, this is exactly what unfolded, is that MTPredictor found a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with this high here, not only in our hourly decision point, but also right at the maximum wave 5 WPT. So this gave you two indications that the euro right back here was actually potentially making a high. So how could we have traded this? Well, the initial target of a 5-wave sequence is the DP from the wave 4. So I'd go down, put the 15-minute DP on here, and this would be our initial target. Let's put our risk reward on in around that particular trade there. Excuse me. And you can see, actually if I pull this across a bit, you can see here that, oops, sorry, just scrolled a bit out there, sorry about that. You can see here that MTPredictor was, actually if I try and clean this up a bit, I'll take these other levels off because these are not relevant. Can't quite get that one behind there. Right, I'll just ignore that. So here we were looking to short 40 contracts. This is 40 mini lots. Actually, I will try and clean this up a bit if you give me a second. Right, there we go. I've just taken those WPT levels off that are no longer relevant. So here we were at a wave 5 high on the 15-minute chart, a hourly decision point high as well, and our trade down into our initial target, which was the DP off the wave 4, would have then come out a potential 3.5R profit. Our position sizing would have allowed us to take 40 mini lots. This was on a sample $20,000 or risking 2% on a $20,000 sample account, and we're trading 4x mini lots here. So let's see what happened. As the market moved forward, the market came out and then started to collapse really quickly. And as you can see, the market went straight through our first level and was headed even lower. Now, do you remember right at the start of this video I put this hourly decision point level on the chart here? Now this gave you the larger degree support zone, so what you could have done is, rather than looking to come out of this first very minor support zone, you could have said, well, actually I want to play for the larger degree support zone, which is down here. And as you can see, the target for this would have been approximately 7.9 or potentially 8R profit. And if we scroll forward, we can see this is what the euro in fact did. The euro went down and is now bouncing around right at this hourly decision point. So this is why many traders make the mistake of trying to trade markets on two shorter time frames. In other words, trying to trade on 1 minute charts, 3 minute charts, 2 minute charts, whatever. And this is a good example where we had a good move here on a 15-minute chart based around hourly decision point levels. And as you can see, the result here was a lovely plus 7.9R profit. So I just want to recap this and show you how MTPredictor users could have uncovered this trade. Again, these are using the advanced techniques we've got in the MTPredictor software, so it just shows that we have got techniques for the more experienced traders out there. But as you can see, the way I've gone through this, it wasn't exactly that hard to unfold. So do you remember we had the hourly decision point on the chart? We then had the 15-minute pattern coming up into here. We then did our position size in and around that, initially to our first minor target. We then decided that actually we wanted to play the larger degree target, which was back again on the hourly decision point, and as such we managed to get a very nice trade that captured that very sharp decline in the euro there. So I hope this has been a good example to show some of the more experienced forex traders out there how MTPredictor has got the tools to be able to uncover trades like this on forex charts.